It's probably not going to work out anyways. Of course that happened. This is a terrible year. Dress rehearsing catastrophe, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Worst case scenarioing? Yeah, we're going to turn it into a verb. Have you felt or thought or even said any of these things lately? I have. I'm Justine Froelker. I'm an author, speaker, corporate trainer, and certified Daring Way and Dare to Lead Facilitator. And this is where we talk about courageous resilience in a really imperfect way with a lot of emotion, and where I teach you the skills, tools, and language to make real, daily, sustainable change in your life so that you can choose courage in loving yourself well in order to love others well, in order to choose grace and joy and walk in your values. So, the hits kind of keep coming. They just kind of keep coming. And I don't want to keep a scorecard anymore of 2020 because frankly, I'm losing. I feel like I'm losing. And I don't want to live from this place where I'm just expecting it to suck, because I think it preps me for when it does. Because I know the data, I know the research, it actually does not help the suck any less if I'm prepared for it. It just steals the good moment. It steals my presence. And it eats away at my soul a little bit every day. So for those keeping score, it's been a rough year. I've fought for my health. I have felt like I am dying or wanted to die quite a bit this year. COVID took a pretty big hit on my career. It's coming back and I'm super excited. And I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired. And that's just my own personal stuff. That's not even all the world stuff that I tend to take on and feel quite a bit. I'm learning that chronic pain, and when you start to get glimpses of freedom and like a little bit of feeling normal, that it just kind of screws with your head. Also fatigue does too, which we're all in. Is the headache really gone? I can't say it's gone because I'll just make it come back. And it sounds silly, but today I cried because a hawk died. I'll post the post below. It was actually pretty cool. My husband and I had a Cooper's hawk on our property who was hunting our chipmunks. That doesn't make me happy. And it does in some ways because my dogs think they can catch those chipmunks and they cannot. The Cooper's hawk was injured and the World Bird Sanctuary talked us through how to catch it to bring it to their hospital. And we did it. It was amazing. And I called today and got the news that Chester Rex, I named him after my grandpa, who also just died, that Chester Rex, the Cooper's hawk, had a broken femur, and they were trying to get him ready for surgery, and he died in the incubator on Sunday after we dropped him off. And I cried about a Cooper's hawk. I cried not because I'm super attached to a Cooper's hawk. I cried because I expected it to be another thing of bad news. I know it sounds so ridiculous. And it dawned on me how many of us might be doing this. We are just waiting for the next catastrophe, the next struggle, the next thing to go wrong, the next bill to come in. We got one of those big ones this week too, because adulting is not for the faint. We don't get the light without the dark. And the dark is often born of the light. And yep, I'm going to remind you again, the dark will never overcome the light. When I live from a place of dress rehearsing catastrophe, of waiting for the other shoe to drop, of prepping for the worst case scenario, of living from a place of expecting the next suck to hit me, the next shit to hit me, the next darkness to hit me, because it's already dark. Can it possibly get any darker? Of course it can. It's 2020. When I live from this place of expecting the next struggle, my eyes and my heart aren't open to the moments of joy and light, the moments where I have a blip with no pain, the moments where someone sends me a message or shares one of my videos because it really meant something to them, the moments where I had a great experience in customer service and I wanted to thank somebody, so I tipped them extra and they loved it and they felt so seen by it. The moments where God shows up in scripture or in a song and I am able to receive it because I'm not so pissed off and expecting the shitstorm that is this year. In the more professional Brené way of saying this, foreboding joy. Our brain is so uncomfortable with vulnerability, and joy is really vulnerable. I'm going to also remind you that this year is just super vulnerable. We don't know what's coming next. It does seem really dark and it feels hard and it's just too much. It is therefore vulnerable, and our brain hates being vulnerable, in which case it's going to do anything in its power to make it feel more safe. So dress rehearsing catastrophe or foreboding joy is what it does. It prepares us for the next wrong thing, the next hit to our soul and our life. And when we ask people who have experienced trauma, loss, and tragedy, which I used to say by the end of our lives will be all of us, but at the end of this year will be all of us. Now it is all of us. We have all experienced trauma, loss, and tragedy in 2020. No one will ever report back in the data that expecting disaster, that scorekeeping the shit and the suck, prepared them for when it hit. All it does is steal the goodness of the moment. It steals your presence. And so Brené teaches it as the antidote to foreboding joy is gratitude. I don't want an antidote because I don't want to plow through the shit. Because I know when I plow through the suck, I don't honor my full story. And so I'm going to choose gratitude to help me move through the suck. I am so grateful that I have had stretches of no pain. I am so grateful for the lessons I am learning in this time. I am so grateful for the friends who have shown up for me. I am so grateful that I had the relationship that I did with my grandfather, and then that's why it hurt so bad that he died. I am so grateful that I got that moment of looking at my husband and being like, are we really going to try to catch a freaking hawk right now? Because it's a story that is so cool, even if Chester died. I'm not to the point where I can be grateful for this year yet. I will not allow the dark to steal how much goodness there has been, though, in and in between the moments of dark, sucky shit. So today, will you join me in moving through the suck by clenching your jaw a bit and saying what you're grateful for? If you need some ideas for gratitude journals, because the research is amazing on gratitude journals, you write down 3 different things every single night before you go to bed about what you are grateful for. I want it to be something different every night. You want to take it a step further. You write a sentence or 3 sentences about one of those things, about how come you are so grateful for that thing. You can make a list of 3 things you're grateful for about yourself, 3 things you're grateful for about your career, and 3 things you're grateful for your personal life. 3 things you're grateful for of this crap year. What I know for sure is that to live from a place where I am expecting the other shoe to drop, living from a place of keeping score of the suck and just knowing that the suck is going to keep on coming is not living from a place of expectancy that goodness and light will win. So somehow I will choose that. Thank you for being here. No matter where you're watching or listening, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you next week.